catch 'em all.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 1 of kitchen design. What I want to do is I want to make a 3D model of an entire kitchen, including all of the appliances, the cabinets, the countertops, really just a layout of a plain kitchen. Okay, let's say it's like 10 by 10, okay, or maybe 12 by 10. So here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to go to our 3D tools first. I usually use 3D Basics. We are going to start with some lines in the top view. So you're going to draw, and actually before we even start this, you're going to want to type units and change your units type to be architectural. That's going to allow you to type with feet and inches. When I say type with feet and inches, I mean that when you're typing, if you did 10 apostrophe, that would stand for 10 feet. If you did 10, that would be 10 inches. If you did 10 quotation, that would be 10 inches. So the quotation is kind of pointless. You don't need to do that. But if you wanted to do 10 feet 6 inches, you could type it like that. 10 feet 6 and 1/2 inch would be like that. Alright, so we want to go, I want to go 12 feet to the right. Now you'll see that your line goes way off the screen because you're at a certain zoom level right now where 10 feet is running way off screen. So hit escape off that line tool, do a double click of the mouse scroller. Okay, that's going to give you a zoom extents. And that should show you your line on there. So that's a 12-foot line. Okay, sorry I said 10 before. Now connect again and go 10 feet down. And then do a little pan, 12 feet over, and then close. Okay, so what you're going to do here is you're going to take these and you're going to join them. Alright, so well, let me think about how I want to do this. I want to have a door and I want to have a window. So, alright, so let's go offset 4 inches, and you're going to go 4 inches in. Okay, that's going to be the standard thickness of a wall or an interior wall, but it really doesn't matter what you make this because you're not going to see outside of these walls or how thick these walls are anyways, because of the, this is going to be an interior render, an interior snapshot of what we want this kitchen to look like. Okay, so alright, so we've got these. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bottom right corner. I'm going to take these and extrude these up, and we're going to go up 8 feet. So now we've got this room basically. If you go to conceptual, you'll see that we have 2 solids. Go back to 2D wireframe. You're going to subtract from the outside one, you hit enter, and then the inside one, enter. That's going to hollow it out. So now you've got something like this. We also need a floor to go in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the box tool. We're going to click on one of these corners, and we're going to go to the opposite corner, and then when we go down, this again doesn't matter, but you could just do like 3 inches or something like that. Okay, although I think mine just went up, so mine went up, so I'm going to move it down 3. I want to keep true to that 8-foot ceiling height. Okay, alright, so we've got this so far. The next thing is I'm going to put a little doorway over here on the right side in the back, and I'm going to end up setting my camera up over here and pointing at these cabinets. Maybe a window here with a sink there, and the door being over on the left side with some cabinets running next to that, and a corner piece of cabinet as well. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do for that is I'm going to put a line. I'm gonna flip this around a little bit because that's the side I know I want it on, and I'm going to put a line on this edge right here. And what that's going to allow me to do when I get into the correct view, let's go back to the top. That line is over here. Oop, it's actually right there. You're going to go to the left side. Alright, so now that line is over here, and you're going to offset that across. Let's leave about 2 feet of nothing, and then we're going to go let's go 32 inches because that's a pretty good sized door. And then we're going to need another line at the bottom of this. Now I wouldn't suggest drawing it in this view. I would bring this down like so, and I would draw, remember, this is the bottom of the floor, this is the bottom of the wall. We want to be at the bottom of the wall. And actually, don't even start it there. Just go at the base of the door from one line to the other. Now when I go to the left side again, I'll be able to take that line I just created and offset that up 6 feet 8, which is your standard height of your doorway. And then that gives me something that I can trim off. I'm going to take those 4 lines, I'm going to join them together, And then let's go back to a 3D view. I'm going to extrude that through the door. Okay, now this you could do 4 inches, or you could just make sure that it's going far enough. It really doesn't matter, because when you go to do the subtract, you're going to click the main model, which is not the floor. It's going to be this. By the way, don't union anything together in this project like the floor and the walls, because you're going to want different materials on those later on. Okay. Anyways, I'm in the middle of a subtract, so click the part that you want to subtract from, hit enter, and then click what you want to subtract and hit enter. So now you can see that when I reset my view, that we have a doorway that I cut out. Okay. If it's going to remain a doorway, then you're going to want to be able to see some flooring on the other side of that. So maybe that's like a dining room that you see some carpet or something like that. You're probably going to want to take this floor and grab it from the very bottom right corner. And see, this is kind of hard to see, so you got to flip around and put it on there. That way now I can put some kind of carpet on there. And again, this is like a Hollywood effect, so you're not building the entire house and you're not going to build the dining room, but maybe you want to see some flooring through there. Otherwise it's just going to be black space, and that's going to look kind of funny. If you put a door there, then that would, I guess that would make sense too. Then you just won't see through the door. But I don't really think you would have a door there in a kitchen. I think it would be more like a doorway, which could be bigger than 32. Now that I'm thinking about it, you could go up to 36 or even 4 feet or whatever you want to do. Okay. All right, so we've got this room. I want to get an idea of what this room looks like before I go any further. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Realistic here. I'm going to go to the Visualize tab, and I'm going to start putting some materials on. Material Browser. When that pops up, drop down this triangle, drop down that triangle. This is going to give you all of your different categories. Make sure that you drop this down and change it to 64 by 64. That's how I have these bigger icons here. And you could do the same thing in the top, 64 by 64. These are going to be your past or your past used materials. So as soon as I use a material, it's going to pop up in there. So the first thing I'm going to look for is some flooring. You can drop down the triangle next to that and see the different types of flooring, like carpet, stone, tile, vinyl, and wood. Maybe I'll grab the dining room carpet first. And this is just like that looks kind of cool. This is just a guess and check. So you're going to put something on there and you're going to see what you like or what you don't like. I might stay with something a little bit more plain. See if I can move this window out of the way. And I'm going to, let's go with this one. I'm going to drag it, and wherever the point of your cursor is where it's going to go actually onto that shape. Okay. And then let me orbit a little bit here. If you're not sure what orbit is, you're going to hold down shift and you're going to use the scroller. So down shift, down scroller, and move your mouse, and that will orbit it around. If you just hold down the scroller without holding down shift, that's what's going to give you your pan. Okay. But you guys should all know that already if you're doing this tutorial. Alright, so we are still recording. That's good. Let's go for a tile. And I always wish that there were more things in here, because there's so many possibilities of what you could do with these flooring. And I know that there are packs that you can download to get things in here and stuff, like more materials. But I don't have those, so we're going to go with the standard stuff. And it really wouldn't make any sense for me to make any videos with something like that, because anybody watching wouldn't have those packs either. I don't know, this kind of stands out to me. I don't know why, so I'm going to put that on the floor. Okay. Kind of looks like, I don't know, I don't like that. What does this look like? Mosaic light brown. That's a vinyl flooring. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. Ooh, checkered. That looks good. Pretty cool. Alright, so yeah, we'll go with that one. Now again, you can pick any materials you guys want. You don't have to follow what I'm following. Sometimes these are not categorized, so if you just click on flooring, you'll see other types. If you wanted a hardwood floor, maybe you want a, I don't know, beechwood chocolate brown. Maybe I'll go with that. I kind of like that, actually. We'll stick with that, okay? You can put whatever you want on there. Alright, so next thing. We're going to set up a camera inside the room, okay, because it's hard to see what you're working on here. I actually probably would end up moving this out of the way when I'm about to build things and, and build them in here and actually build my cabinet out here and then move it in. There looks like a line that I should erase, but I'm going to bring that back real quick and then erase it. Alright, we got that. Make sure there's no other lines. Good. Yeah, let's set up a camera. Okay, so you're going to type cam. And the reason why you would set up a camera is because you can't get into that room. This is not like Google SketchUp where you can zoom right through the wall and see what's in there. that wall is always going to be in your way. Okay, so if you do a cam and then you set a position for that camera, which I'm going to do on this corner right here, and then it wants to know basically what you're looking at, I'm probably going to hit this midpoint on the far wall. Then you have options. Do you want to name the camera? Okay, fine, we'll name it. You know, it's already named camera 1, so it really doesn't matter. Do you want to change the height? Do you want to change the target? Do you want to change the lens? If you wanted to go wider view with the wide lens, or if you wanted to, you know, go a little narrower, or how far the zoom is, anything like that would be in there. But for now, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit enter. Okay. So now you'll notice that when I click on that camera, it's going to give me a little preview of that window. Now I'm definitely going to want to zoom out because I can't see much. I will change this to realistic so we can see the materials. And I am going to go back into the camera now and make a right click on there. Whoops, sorry. When the camera's selected, just do a right click over here and go to properties. I'm going to close this window. And with the camera selected, you can change your field of view to be a bigger number, like 100. And now it's going to go much wider. So when I click on that camera, you'll see that we're seeing most of the room now. Okay. Maybe I want to shift that view over a little bit. I don't know why we're not seeing this wall over here. It's probably because we're right on the wall. So here's another thing I'll do. I'll probably take that camera and just move it a little bit this way, and then move it a little bit. Always stay on the green line. That way you know you're staying on that plane. Move it a little bit into there, and then let's see what that camera looks like. Okay, so now we're seeing that wall, and it's just, you know what, we were seeing it. It was just this dark gray color because of the lighting. So why don't we mess with some lighting real quick. I'm not going to do light bulbs or anything in this one, maybe until later. But if you go on the sun status, just turn that on and make it like a time of day that would be somewhere in the middle of the day and somewhere in like the summertime. That's probably going to light you up a little bit better in the room. And if not, you could always mess with the exposure and bring that number down. And again, click on that. It's starting to get a little brighter, but not by much. We want full shadows. Oh, we want to turn default lighting off. That's why we're not seeing what we want to see. Click on the camera. Why am I not getting that preview? Hang on. I think this wall is in my way. I want to move that over for 1 second. 10 feet. Why am I not seeing this preview? Alright, well, for whatever reason I'm not seeing this preview, so I'll show you how to actually look at the camera view. So type in view and drop down model views and double click on camera and then hit apply and hit OK. So now we're actually on that view and you'll be able to see the room from that camera angle. So if you were to go and render this now, you would actually see, you know, we'd want to put a ceiling in there. Maybe we will put some lights later on, but you're going to want to see that actual view, and that's how you would render it. Okay, so let's go back and we're going to do a couple more materials here. Under visualize, materials browser, let's find something for the walls. How about I'm trying to think of like how I want this kitchen to look. I know this is going to sound silly, but I kind of want to have white walls, like a cool white, which is not going to look very different there. Let's mess with that exposure a little bit more. Bring that down between like 4 and 5. Yeah, that looks better. And now I'm envisioning like 2 cabinets, a corner cabinet, maybe 3 cabinets, fridge. No, you know what? Corner cabinet, 2 cabinets, cabinet with sink. We're not going to see everything because there's going to be some stuff this way too. Maybe we will put those there as well. But, you know, like maybe the stove would go back here. You got to stick to your triangle work theory. And the triangle work theory is basically that, you don't have to. This is just for fun. But when you're designing a house, the triangle work theory states that all of your stove, your dishwasher, and your sink should all be within 7 to 9 feet of each other. And they can't be more than 27 feet total, okay? So let's just say, you know, between your sink and your stove is 8 feet, and between your stove and your sink, stove, and your dishwasher is 6 feet, and then between the dishwasher and the sink is always right next to it, so probably like 3 or 4 feet. That would actually work, okay? I should really look up the rules of that before I state that like I know exactly what it is. It is the triangle work theory. So, states that a kitchen's 3 main work areas should form, you guessed it, a triangle. Specifically the sink, fridge, and stove. Oh, so it does include the fridge, and it does not include the dishwasher, which I guess makes sense because the dishwasher is always next to the sink anyways. Sorry, I was a little wrong on that. But basically, as far as the numbers go, I don't think we're going to see it in that article. It's funny, I have this mapped out at work too, and I just haven't taught it in a while, and I don't remember off the top of my head. Let's see what these guys say. So each leg of the triangle has to be, wow, I was way off on these numbers. Each leg of the triangle is between 4 and 9 feet. The total of all 3 sides of the triangle have to be between 12 and 26. And then there's no obstructions in the way, like cabinets, islands, etc. Should intersect the leg of the work triangle. So household traffic should not flow through the work triangle. So yeah, you guys pretty much understand the idea behind that now. Between 4 and 9 feet. Not less than 12, not more than 26. Does not include the dishwasher because the dishwasher is going to be right next to the sink anyways. All right. Okay, so back to this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get off that view now, and I'm going to go back to my right. Now, if this happens when you are in your view of your camera, what you do is you right-click on this tool up in the top right, the cube, and hit parallel, and that'll put you back to your regular workspace. Okay. Alright, so let's do one cabinet, and then I'm going to end this video, and then I guess the next part will be like copying that cabinet around. In your kitchen, usually you're going to have different size cabinets, so you'd probably have like a 2-foot cabinet, a 3-foot cabinet would be one that your sink goes in. You could go all the way down to an 18-inch or even a 12-inch cabinet. It really depends on the size of your kitchen and the way that you're trying to lay it out, and that's why there are people out there that make so much money on kitchen design. Alright, guys that will come out and tell you exactly what to do. Alright. Alright, so let's make a cabinet. Let's start with a... So again, this is not going to be a cabinet where the doors are going to open and you're going to see inside it. It's just basically going to be a box that has some cabinet doors on it and some handles. Okay, so let's start with a box. We're going to do a floor cabinet. We're going to click anywhere and we're going to do length. And you're going to go, let's do a 36-inch cabinet. So you're going to go 36 that way, or 3 apostrophe. This way you're going to come 24 because your bottom cabinets come out about 24 inches and the top cabinets come out about 12 inches. And then as far as how tall it's going to go, generally your countertop is at 36 inches. Okay, so if we're going to have the countertop at 36 and that's going to be about 2 inches thick, I'm going to make this height 34. Alright, next thing, doors. Okay, the doors, if I have a 36-inch cabinet, that means I have 36 inches to play with, but I want to have about 4 inches between the doors, and I probably want to have about 4 inches on the sides of it as well. So that would be 12 inches. Okay, 36 minus 12 is 24. So 24 divided by 2 doors is 12 inches. So these doors are going to be 12 by something. Okay, so again, use the box tool, hit length. This way we're going to go 12, so that's a 12-inch door. We're going to make them 1 inch thick, and then we're going to go up if it's a 34-inch height, and I want to leave 4 inches at the bottom and 2 inches at the top. Take away 6 inches, that would be 28. Okay, so we get something like this. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a chamfer edge. I'm going to do distance, and I'm going to go 0.5 and 0.5. And I'm going to go around the out. I'm going to go back to 2D wireframe first though. Okay, let's just move this over. Alright. I don't know if I'm going to like this chamfer distance or not, but we'll see. 0.5, 0.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like it. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. Okay. Alright, so that's that part. The next part is going to be the part on the inside that trails around. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a line, and it's going to be hard to get that. So I don't want to give you guys anything that's going to be hard to select. So let's go there, and let's go on this edge. Okay, and now I can use that to offset. So again, I'm going to leave about 2 inches on, oh, I got to be in the right side to do this, sorry. So you'll notice that I'm here now, but I can still orbit. I'm still on the right side here. We're going to leave about 2 inches on that side. That gets us down to about, let's see, we did 0.5. So we're -1. There's going to be a lot of math in this. 12 minus 1 is 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So we're going to do an offset of 7. That should also leave us symmetrical. And then at the top, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to come down 2. That was 28. So 28 minus 2 is 26, minus the ½ inch for the chamfer is 25.5. And then we want to subtract the same stuff from the bottom, 25.5, 25, 23. So offset 23. And that's going to leave the entire door symmetrical. Okay, so now fillet radius 0, and you're going to go like this. Oh, you know what? Sorry, don't do 0. We might as well just do 2 things in one step here. Fillet radius. Let's try. I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. I'm making this on the fly. Do I like 3? Hold on. No, I don't like that. It's too big. Fillet radius 2. I like that. That's better. Okay. Now, this is going to be a little tricky here. What you're going to do is hang on, I got to think about this. We want to okay, so we want to join 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then leave this line alone. Okay, so join those together. That's going to make one shape here, and that's going to leave one line alone. Okay, what we need to do is we need to create a profile that we want to cut out of the front frame of this door. Okay, the simplest way to explain this would be if I took a circle and I made that a radius of, the door is only 1 inch thick, so I can only really make this a radius of like 0.5 or something like that. And then you're going to use the tool called sweep, and it wants to know what object do you want to sweep. The circle, enter. What do you want to sweep it along? And the reason why I left that line separate is because you can't sweep something along a closed shape. It has to have a start point and an end point, and that would sweep along there. So now if I go on this conceptual view, you'll see that it's got some kind of thickness to it. Okay. Now I would actually create 2 of those circles. I'm interested to see what this circle is going to look like because it wasn't the shape I was going to go with. But you're going to need 2 of those because you're going to sweep this one, enter on that, and then you're going to sweep this one, enter on that. And now we've got this whole thing here where we can subtract from the, we got to get rid of some extra lines. 1, 2. Subtract from the door 1, 2. So now we end up with that. Do I love that? I don't, but I'm also thinking that in our view, are you going to be able to see enough detail to make this worth it? I'm not sure. Let's go back. Let's try another one. Let's back up before I did that. Let's make a copy of this before we go any further. And then let's again sweep this, enter that, this, enter that. Subtract door. Oh, I still have those lines there now. I brought them back by accident. Subtract door, enter, 1, 2, enter. Okay, so we got that one if we want it. All right. I don't know why that's showing like that. It's just showing a crease, I guess. You won't see that when you put the materials on there. The profile I was going to make was going to be more of a, we need to do this in the top view. It was going to be more like, let me think about what we do. We did a radius 0.5, which was a decent size. It was going to be more like 1.5. I'm trying to think of the shape that I want. Oh, okay, I got it. So I'm going to do an angle here, but before I do that, I'm going to do offset of 0.5 because I want it to go 0.5 deep into the door, just like the circle was 0.5 deep into the door. And then I'm going to put a line down the middle here, and now I'm going to go, these are all going to be dummy lines, they're all going to get erased, but this one we're going to go 0.5 that way, and then we're going to connect. And then we're going to go 0.5 this way and connect. So really what I want is I want 1, 2, 3, 4 and I want to get rid of those. Okay. I feel like I hear somebody knocking, but I don't think anybody's here. Now on this one, okay, what's going to happen is we're going to take these and we're going to join those together, and we're going to take this line. I think my dog is sleeping and wagging her tail in her sleep. That's pretty funny. It was a long video. Okay, let's finish this up. So you're going to take this midpoint here without clicking on it and just hover over it and go to convert to arc and put some kind of little arc on there like this. Whoops. Let's try that again. It's going to want to snap back, so just go a little bit more like that. Okay, so now what you're going to do with this, you're going to take this and move it onto that line. So if you get a point right about there, that's probably where it is, and you'll see that it went right here. Okay, let's go back to 2D wireframe. So I've got one of those right there. Now I really need a copy of that. That's going to go here. Now we go sweep, click this one, enter along there, and sweep, click this one, and if you're not getting that one, you could do a blue box around it like that, then hit sweep, and then click what you want to sweep it along. Okay, and also I want to see if I union these two together before I subtract them. Nope, see, it didn't get rid of the creases, so it doesn't really matter. Subtract, door, enter, sweeps, enter, and then let's see what that looks like. I like that better. Yeah, that's got a lot more detail to it. Get rid of this one. Okay? Alright. So that's the door. I'm going to grab this from back here. I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to move that over because I want it to leave 4 inches on that side. I want it to leave 2 at the top, which leaves 4 at the bottom. Kind of wishing I went with bigger doors now. Kind of wishing I went with bigger doors. I don't know if I messed that up or not. What if we go with a smaller cabinet instead? I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. Let's go to the front. Oops, sorry. Let's go to the right side. Let's go on 2D wireframe. Let's take this door and mirror it across the midpoint. Erase the source? No. It's not bad. There's too much space though. It's definitely too much space. I would have left 2 around the entire perimeter and 2 down the middle. So let's make another door. I don't know. Why not? Alright, click length. This way we want to be, let's see, we had them 12 before, but we want to go 12, 14, 15. So we want a 15-inch door. That's going to be, let's see, 34 minus 2 is 32, and then 1. Okay, so now I wish I kept that profile. We're going to have to make that again, but that's okay. It should go faster this time. Chamfer edge, distance, 0.5, 0.5, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Enter, enter. Okay. And then we're going to go back to 2D wireframe. We're going to draw our lines. These are dummy lines again. Don't forget to erase them. Okay. Offset. I want to leave 2 inches on the outside. That shape was 1.5. Did I leave 2? Yeah. 2, 2. This was 30, I believe. 34 minus 2, 30. Offset 28. Let's go to the right view and just make sure I got that right. Nope. I think it was supposed to be 27. Yep. Okay, and we don't even have to play with this. We could just mirror it also. Erase the source. No. Okay, so that was mirror. Click what you want to mirror. Enter. What do you want to mirror it across? Midpoint to midpoint. Do you want to erase the source? No. Okay. Alright, fillet, radius 2. Now, by the way, you need to have a fillet on this. You can't do a sweep on a corner, and you can't do a sweeping shape. You can't sweep a shape that is bigger than the radius of the corner. So if I did a radius 1 right here, I could not sweep my 1.5 inch shape. It just won't, it'll touch itself and it won't go through. But if I do 2 here, it'll work. Okay, so we got that. We're gonna go with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 join. We're gonna go back to the top. We're gonna draw that profile again. That was 1.5. Offset 0.5 is how deep it's gonna go into the door. Line down the middle. 0.5 angle. 0.5 angle. 1, 2, 3. Big line 4. Move. Erase these 2 lines. Trim. Select. Join. Man, I'm cruising right now. Click on this line. Hover over the midpoint. Convert to arc. Put a little arc on there. Okay, so now we got that. Now we're going to move that based off of this corner. That way it's in the door. And we're going to go on, let's see, there's a midpoint there. Let's just see if that's right or not. Nope. But it's okay. It's easier in a 3D view. We'll put that there because this is joined. It needs to start here at the end and then finish. And then I'm going to make a copy of this right there. Okay? So, sweep. What do you want to sweep? Enter. What do you want to sweep it along? Sweep that thing there with the blue box. Enter. What do you want to sweep it along? Okay? And now we get a door that looks, I think, a little bit more appropriate. Subtract. Oh, we forgot we got these lines here. Delete. Subtract, door, enter, sweep, sweep, enter. Let's get rid of these. Alright. Move it from the very back corner. Put it on this corner here. Let's go to the front. Now that we know we have... Oops, sorry. I always say that. Let's go to the right. And I wanted to leave 2 inches at the bottom so we can go... Oh, I made it a little bit too tall. That's going to leave 1 inch at the top, 1 inch at the bottom. It should have been, and we could fix that too actually. We could do a slice and pull it from the center. But we'll see what it looks like first. Move 2 inches from that side. Take this, mirror it across the middle. Erase the source. No. I like it. That looks good like that. Alright. Alright, a handle. Handle's the last thing here. What do I want my handle to look like? How about, by the way, on conceptual, this looks like this. That's pretty good. And we can move this in too. We don't really need to keep playing with this out here. I wouldn't put it right next to the doorway. I would stick it down and then move it a little ways. Leave, you know, because you're going to have trim there too. I'd leave like 4 inches. That's a big cabinet for right there. I might flip that one around and make that the one where the sink is. But just for this video, which is on 33 minutes right now, it's a long video, I want to finish with the handle and then we'll be done. Alright? And we'll look at the camera view right before we finish. You know what? We'll do the handle in the next one. So view, double click the camera, apply, okay, and you can see our first cabinet in there. Okay? Alright, that's it for this video. 33 minutes, almost 34. Sorry about that. I know that was kind of long. But this is the beginning of cabinet design. So this is video 1 or part 1, and I don't know how many parts there are going to be. As long as we're having fun with it, we'll keep going. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next part. Later. Gotta catch 'em all.